Hello everybody, welcome back. I hope you're doing great. It's been a bit since I have been able to record some Saturday videos for you guys, but today I'm able to, and hopefully I can do another one. We will see if I can before rain starts. Today, this one, I will say it is very random. I have been doing a lot of reviews of like series and movies that I have seen, but this one is definitely a random video because I got this idea after watching something and I was like, what is this? What is happening with this group? Because I haven't heard anything. So a few weeks ago I got recommended video here on YouTube, and it was a cover of a group called EL7Z UP. Hopefully I'm saying their name right. EL7Z UP did, I think it's been well over a year, if not almost a year. I was like, oh right, EL7Z UP, what have they been doing? I knew they debuted and all that, but I haven't heard that much. Let me look it up. And I looked it up and I realized they haven't released anything else after debuted, and that got very weird. And I was like, I'm very confused. And then I thought there was a contract involved, how it usually goes with those type of shows, survivor shows, which is why they were formed from. And I realized there's none, and I got even more confused. When that happens, I started looking more information, and then this video came up because honestly I'm very confused by this group and what is happening with this group. And two, I don't know if anybody out there knows anything else than what I have read, because they haven't promoted at all in like coming up to 2 years. Who knows, maybe I'm wrong, but it's been a year at least. So I made some notes for this so I didn't forget anything, and I'm just gonna talk about this because honestly this is a very talented group and I am just as confused as probably some people out there that know about EL7Z UP, about what is happening with them. So I am going to tell you a little bit about the show that they were formed from, a little bit more about the group, sort of first time style of reactions that I do, sort of like that, and then we would just talk about what is happening with this group because I'm very confused. And if anybody out there knows anything, please feel free to let us all know because I am very confused. Of course, everything that I'm gonna say, most of it is my opinion and stuff that I has read before. Yeah, I'm just very confused. So if anybody knows anything else, please go ahead, let me know. Let us all know in the comments below because I am very confused. The group EL7Z UP was formed from a show called Kingdom Puzzle. If you know about Kingdom, Road to Kingdom, the recent one that they did, that was Kingdom, like Ace of Aces type of a thing. If you know about those shows, I think they're basically made by the same people. I don't fully remember, but I'm pretty sure there are. And this one, Kingdom Puzzle, was aired on June 13 of 2023, and it kind of finished around August of 2023 airing. And by the time we already had the group, they basically wanted to form a whole new group with members from other girl groups and soloists. The thing that they were talked about the most was how they were going to show the contestants forming groups among themselves, and sort of like a puzzle, they will kind of fit with one another and they will show different performances or unique things that they have never done with the groups they're a part of, that type of a thing. So they wanted, like, it's called Kingdom Puzzle because in a way they're taking all these members from these different groups and soloists to form this new group that is gonna be very big and all of this. That's basically what it was. Now the whole thing was that each episode there will be a new mission and they will form a group and they will perform it, and then one group will win, one wouldn't, and I'm guessing out of the one that lost, somebody was going to be eliminated. So not very different from the whole produce survivor shows, Boys Planet, Girls Planet. Not very far away from that, but it is with active members from other girl groups and soloists that are active. That's basically it. It's not trainees, it's active girl member groups or soloists. I will say I didn't see the whole show. I did saw a lot of the performances and they were really good, honestly. There were members from groups that I didn't know too much that I definitely look up after, and I listened to a couple of their songs. So shows like this are very good when it comes for you to see new groups and kind of find out new groups that you probably never heard of, and you end up liking it and all of that. I will say I am very surprised they haven't done a male version of this, but also I'm not very surprised, and I do have an idea as to why they haven't done it, but we'll get there soon. The group that was formed from it was EL7Z, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them. So there is 7 members. You have Huisa from Haiki, I think that's how you say their name, Nana from Wu-A, Yuki from Popokes, Kei, she was an ex-member of Lovelyz and now she's a soloist. You have Yorum, she's from Cosmic Girls, Yeonhee from Rocket Punch, and Ji Jeon, she is from CLC, but she's now a soloist. Tell a little bit more about the group very quickly. The name EL7Z is puzzle backwards, and the number 7 is representing the amount of members in the group, and it's also one of the C in puzzle, so it's like replacing one of the C in puzzle. They debuted on September 14 of 2023 with a mini album called 7+ Up, I think that's how you say it, and the title track was Shiki. They also did a lot of covers from other songs, and they even performed on Mama 2023, and I think the cover that was mostly talked about was Pink Venom by Blackpink, which is the one that was recommended on me on YouTube, but they have done other ones while they were promoting Chiki and all that. The fandom does have a name. It is EL7Z, meaning that the fans will love them, and it is derived from the phrase EL7Z I love you. And then the company that they're under are DG Entertainment and Apple Monster. I know nothing about them. I looked them up. I could find a little bit more about DG Entertainment. There's no other group other than EL7Z, and they do look like they have a few trainees, but who knows how long they have been there, who knows if they're still there. But that's all. When it comes to Apple Monster, absolutely nothing. All I saw was that they were a media company and they were expanding and exploring to be an artist management company, and that's probably why they have EL7Z. Technically, I'm guessing they're the ones that were supposed to be managing the group, but nothing else. There's no trainees in the group, nothing. So other than that, I know absolutely nothing from these both companies. If anybody knows, please tell me. But technically, EL7Z is under both companies. They're co-managing it together. Where is the group now? You may be asking yourself, because they debuted in 2023. If you look, they have been together for a year and a couple of months. In a way, now 2025 is going to be 2 years that the group is active. The group is not disbanded, okay? I didn't find anywhere that said that EL7Z disbanded. But they're not active at all since debuted. So they debuted and they haven't done anything with the group. Why, you may ask yourself? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. Nobody knows. I have a few ideas, which I'll say in a bit, but there's nothing out there. Now, I did find out while I was reading that on February 2024 were news that they were going to do a comeback on May 2024, and that the members were kind of telling their companies that a comeback was going to be made with EL7Z and all of that, but that comeback never happened. Now, people understood that a comeback with EL7Z might take a long time or longer than usual because they're all from different companies. Some of them are from groups, some of them are soloists, but they all have different schedules, so it might take longer than usual because of that. Figuring out a schedule that they can, you know, be with EL7Z and promote, but also still be able to promote with the groups that they're under. So people understood it might take longer, but still, people also think that 2024, the groups and the soloists that are in EL7Z weren't as active, and there should have been time for them to do an EL7Z comeback. For example, I looked up a bit what the groups and the soloists were doing on 2024. Pretty sure there's probably something else, but releasing music specifically is what I'm focusing on. We have Huisa from Haiki. They did release a mini album on 2024, but nothing else. I saw a couple of singles, but I didn't see that they were promoting them on music shows, and they also did a Shiny single at some point in 2024, but again, I don't know if they promoted that China or something, I don't know. Nana, she's from WUA, like I said. They only released a mini album from what I saw in 2024, nothing else. Also, I didn't see anything of Haiki and WUA disbanding or anything like that, but 2024, not much release. Yuki from Bubble Kiss, I would say out of all of them, she might have been the most active, because Purple Kiss did release too many albums in 2024, so they were active compared to the other members of EL7Z UP, but still Purple Kiss was more active before. You have Kay, she's a soloist. Like I said, she was a member of Lovelyz, but as far as I know, they all left the company and the group disbanded, unless they think of themselves still as a group and at some point they're going to do a comeback, I don't know, but they're all doing solo stuff, and Kay is a soloist now, and so far what I found was that she has been doing a lot of OSTs for drama. I didn't see anything about her releasing new music as a soloist on 2024, mostly OSTs. You have Yarum from Cosmic Girl. That group hasn't been active in years, since 2022, so it's been a couple of years. I don't know what Starship is planning to do with Cosmic Girl. That group is super talented. I don't know what they're waiting to come back or something. I don't know what the members are doing solo wise. I don't know what they are doing on the Starship. I really don't know. You have Yeonhee from Rocket Punch. That group hasn't been active in 2024, and for what I saw at the end of 2024, actually their contract expires, the members left the company, and the group disbanded. And then Yeon, she's a soloist, but like I said, she's part of CLC. Even though CLC is not on the cube, they still consider themselves a group, and recently they uploaded a few videos together. I think it was because of CLC anniversary, but she is a soloist, and in 2024 she released a single, I think 1 or 2 singles, but that's all. We don't know exactly how much time releasing a single or a mini album takes. We don't know exactly how much schedule they had after that, or if they had other stuff planned. They weren't as active compared to other groups, so people were like, why the comeback didn't happen? It's okay if it doesn't happen in May, but maybe at the end of the year it could have happened, you know. So people were like, I understand that it's gonna take a long time, but why are you all trying to make it work or something if they're still a group? They haven't disbanded at all. So I did read also that the members were really happy for a comeback, and that they missed being on the group, and they wanted a comeback to happen soon, but the one in 2024 never really happened. I do think though that there's more to it that we don't know. I do have a few ideas as to, you know, why nothing is being done with EL7Z, but I always say this, and I will always say it, we don't know what happens behind doors. We don't know what happens, you know, in private and any of that, so we won't know fully or what the real reason is as to why they haven't promoted or released anything with EL7Z. I do have a few ideas, but the real one, the real reason, we will never know unless the company says something or the member says something, but that is very rare cases that happen. Let me tell you what I think. The members are super talented, okay? If you have seen them in their groups, if you have seen them on Kingdom Puzzle, the performances that they did, they're really good. They're all girl groups, they're all soloists, they have experience, they know. So it's sad for me to see that a group like EL7Z that has so many talented girl group members and soloists on it, and they had this experience, it's not being used. It's sad, okay? And they only debuted and done. That's all. Nothing else being done with them, and I think the members really want something, but it hasn't happened. I get a comeback is hard and it takes time, like people understand as well. They're from different companies, different schedules, takes forever. That can happen. But if you know the members want to do a comeback, if you know the members miss the group, if you know that there's fans out there that miss the group, want a comeback, why not doing it? Why not try to find time for make that to make that happen, even if it takes a bit. Why not the companies and the company that EL7Z is under aren't trying to find time for it to happen? The Instagram hasn't been updated in like a year, I think, or close to a year. I think the last group photo was like in 2023, and I understand, like, a part of me wants them to at least keep the Instagram updated, but at the same time EL7Z is not promoting, so why are they gonna post there if EL7Z is doing absolutely nothing? But it's like, if people want to come back from EL7Z, I understand it's hard, but right now some of the groups that the girls are under disbanded or are not as active as before. Try to find time. I don't know, work it out somehow. I know it's hard, I understand it's hard. It makes me think of something, in my opinion, that this might be. There's two things that I think. One, the companies that the group is under, so DG Entertainment and Apple Monster, don't care about the group anymore. Okay, I get the feeling that they thought the group was going to be a bigger hit. The group did very well. The debut did very well. Okay, I want to clarify that. But I think the companies thought, because there were girl groups and soloists that are very popular in the group, everything was going to be bigger. It was going to be a bigger hit. It was going to do better. And maybe wasn't up to their expectations or what they thought it was going to be. They thought it wasn't good enough. They probably were like, we spent all of this money and we didn't get what we wanted back, so it's not worth it, and they just don't care about it anymore. Maybe sales were lower than they thought, because again, the comeback did really good, okay, in my opinion, but probably wasn't good enough for them or what they thought it would be. Also, number two, the companies that the groups are under, right, so the members are under and all of that, apart from EL7Z, part of that, probably didn't get the money or didn't get the cut from the money that they wanted. The cut wasn't what they thought it was, because I think money is somewhere around here. I think money is the key here. I feel like, because again, maybe these companies were like, okay, EL7Z is gonna do really good, the money that we're going to make and that we're going to get, it's gonna be good. It's probably gonna be more than the money that we get when they are promoting with the groups here under a company, and probably wasn't like that, and they said, oh, this is way lower than we thought, or maybe it's less, so they were like, why are we going to waste of time and sending them to promote with EL7Z if us promoting them with the group that they're under or as a soloist is way better, it would get more money back. You know what I mean? Maybe that's another thing. That's like another idea that I have, because I feel like money is the key here, because the group did very well, honestly, their debut. So I think money, I think they had very high expectations when it comes to how big the group was going to be. It probably didn't do what they wanted them to do, everything went well, but not how they wanted to. I feel like I have those two ideas in my mind, that it could probably be why they just drop EL7Z all of a sudden. You do have to remember though, this show is promotion. This show is huge promotion for all of the artists that went on. Made it into a group or not, it's promotion. If they made it into the group, great. If they didn't, promotion. Just like any other Survivor shows with trainees, they send them trainees. If they make it into a lineup, great, perfect. If they didn't, they will debut them as quickly as they can. Some of them is very quickly, some of them take a bit longer, but a debut happens, let it be soloist or in a group. Kingdom Puzzle is the same thing. It's just with already girl group members. They go there. If they made it into a lineup, great. If they didn't, promotion for the group. People know the member, people know the group, and they will look it up somewhere and maybe follow them and follow the group on what they release and all of that. But also, if you don't keep the group active after that, it's not worth it. The member went through all of that and the group is not even gonna be active. It's not worth it. People are gonna be like, oh great, and then nothing is released. It's like, why am I following them? You know what I mean? So people can have those thoughts as well. So I'm guessing if a member didn't make it into the group, the company probably did a comeback very quickly. That's just my guessing, but probably didn't happen with a few groups, but my guessing is it did happen. But again, I will say it's very weird that they haven't done a male version of this. Usually, I mean, everything started with Queendom, and then they did Road to Kingdom, and I think at some point they did Queendom 2, Queendom Puzzle, they did Kingdom Ace of Aces. So it's very surprising that you have like Queendom and Kingdom, so girl version, boy version, but you haven't done a boy version of Queendom Puzzle. It is very weird, honestly. I think either there isn't that many groups that want to be a part of. Who knows? Maybe that's one thing. Because again, usually they do like a male version of something very quickly. Very like that is like girl, okay, boy version quickly. Maybe they don't see the value of having a group like that. Maybe they think it's a waste of time. Maybe just like EL7Z UP, again, they think it's gonna be a waste and they don't want to bother doing a male version of it. They don't want to explore it. They don't want to spend the money on it for it not to be as big as they thought, like what happened with EL7Z UP, I'm guessing, in my opinion. So I'm very surprised that they haven't done a male version of it. Another thing that I found with EL7Z UP is usually with this Survivor show groups that are formed like that, there's a contract of how much they're gonna be together, how long. So usually when the group is formed, they're like, okay, this group is gonna be active for X amount of time, and throughout that year, 2 years is usually what I see. They're just going to promote and release music with this group. That's all, and then they will disband. They always try to, you know, renew contract like what happened with Kepler, but most of the time they disband. With EL7Z UP, it wasn't like that. There isn't a exact time disband. There isn't like X amount of time that they're going to be together. Essentially, that's what I mean. Instead, they are going to release 3 albums. That's the number that I found everywhere, that they were going to at least release 3 albums, which is something that people kind of liked, because they were like, oh, so they don't have an exact time when they're going to disband, so it opens the possibility to maybe have more than 3 albums released with EL7Z UP. But the minimum that I found was 3 albums. So this comes back to my idea of them not releasing anything else because the companies that the EL7Z UP is under didn't see the value of them and didn't see that they didn't get the money that they thought they would have it debuting EL7Z UP. No, a group that is with active girl groups, you know? The group is not active, they're doing nothing with that group. But if, you know, if the show promised them 3 albums, it should happen. If that is somewhere in a contract, it should happen at some point that they release at least the 3 albums that they were promised. If it's said nowhere, then I don't think that's a good thing. But if they were promised 3 albums, they should release the 3 albums with EL7Z UP. Which again comes back to my idea of they either didn't see the value of them, they didn't get the money that they thought they were going to, or the companies that the members are under didn't see it either. They don't want to make the effort. I don't know. I think everything boils down to those ideas that I have. Another thing that people were questioning that I saw was how quickly I did a debut. The Queendom Puzzle show finished on August 2023. The debut was on September 2023. My guessing is that everything was done. Everything. While the show was being made or before, everything was done. Mini album with the songs, the concept, place to record, everything was already done, and they just needed the members, plop it there, record everything, and done. So I don't think they even had a chance to kind of talk about the concept that they want the group to have and all of that. I think everything was just already pre-decided and they just needed the group, record, promote, done. That is my opinion as to why a debut was so quickly done, because other than that, writing and everything done in like a month, when usually takes months to plan and do a comeback for groups and soloists. My only guessing is everything was done. So it is very sad for me that this is happening. EL7Z UP is such a talented group, and I really hope they do a comeback this year or something, because it is a waste of talent, okay? In a way, they cannot disband because there's not an X amount of time that they're gonna be together, but also they haven't released the 3 albums that I feel that they were promised. So it's like, what, you know, it's like they're floating. Nobody wants to do anything with them. Can they just like leave and go to somewhere else and just do it there? You know, and release something, because I don't feel like those company that EL7Z is under see the value in the group. You know, the only value that EL7Z had was money, and I feel like because that didn't happen, or it, you know, the sense of it didn't make the money that they thought it was going to do, they dropped the group completely. That's my guessing. But I do know, for what I've seen, that members do miss the group, and they do want something to happen. So I do hope it happens. I do hope somebody will pick EL7Z up and be like, we're gonna do a comeback with you guys or something. Maybe it's being prepared. Again, I understand it's gonna take a long time, but not this long. Jesus, this is a lot. Hoping this year, if it does happen, I swear I'll do a reaction of it, because Cheeky was very good. If you haven't heard Cheeky, I would highly suggest it. It's a very good song. So we'll see what happens. If anybody knows anything, please let me know in the comments below. I am very curious if there's any more information out there about this group, because they're super talented, okay? I don't want anything to happen to this group, and I do wish that at least they will release those 3 albums that they were promised from the show, because that is the least that they can do at this point. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing great, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye.